add on over time. So for previous versions before this, we didn't, the kind of eye contact was all just, AI simulated, but we didn't actually know when you were making eye contact because we weren't tracking the eyes. And now for this version and hopefully a lot of the different ones that we build going forward, you'll be able to have realistic facial expressions and more translated directly to your avatar. But there's this whole roadmap of basically how do you deliver this like real sense of presence, like you're there with another person no matter where you actually are.
It was very impressive because even when I moved my jaw side to side, I'm like, the way this is tracking is on your body. Do you ultimately think that's like, are we going to go Ready Player One where you have like a haptic feedback suit and you have to zip this thing up to get into a game and in that way you're going to be fully immersive? Or do you think that it can get to the point where it can mimic the movements of your body accurately without you having to wear something?
So there will be opportunities to wear things to augment the experience further, right? So we already have these experiments with haptic gloves where you can, if you touch a digital object, right, if you drop a ball from one hand to the other, you can feel the ball in your hand physically, and that's pretty cool. But I want to design this in a way you need that, right? So today there's two primary modes of doing the tracking. There's this kind of notion of inside-out tracking. You're wearing the headset, and it tracks your motion, it tracks your hands. Eventually, it'll track your legs with an AI model. And you can do that all with your headset. Advantage of that is you don't need to be more portable. You able to bring it around. You don't want to have a setup that has like 10 pieces, right? Maybe there are going to be times when you want to kind of have that sort of or you're doing work at the office or you're going to a coffee shop or whatever. And for that, you really just want to make it work from the device.
Along those lines. This episode is brought to you by AG1. I love AG1. Energy, improved focus, and know that I'm covering my nutritional basis no matter where I am in the world. I've been taking AG1 since 2018, and you're going to love how it makes you feel. But if you're still on the fence, the folks at AG are giving you 90 days to give it a shot. If it's not for you, just say the word and you get your money back. No questions asked. You've literally got nothing to lose. Each scoop of AG1 is packed with 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, D3 and K2, and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase at athleticgreens.com/Rogan. Supporting your health should be simple, and it does it easier than AG1. Go to athleticgreens.com/Rogan to check it out. We are brought to you by Roka. If you've been listening for a while, you may have heard me talk about Roka sunglasses. They are my absolute favorite. But today, I want to know about the prescription eye. If you are active and have bad eyes, do not skip this shit. Roka is a brand based in Austin, Texas, and they have been making performance eyewear for Olympic gold medalists and world champion athletes since 2016. For the last few years, Roka has been badass, and last year, because of the crazy stuff, lenses and assembles all of their eyeglasses here in town, which is awesome. Everything is built to order. All of Roka's frames were prescription lenses, and they have something for everyone, no matter how fucked up your eyes are. Regular prescription, progressives, also readers. Since they cut their own lenses, they can also fucked up your eyes are. Regular prescription, progressives, also readers. Since they cut their own lenses, they can also work extremes the brand can't offer. Readers and absolutely love them. They are ultra lightweight, super comfortable, and Roka fixed that problem where glasses slip off your nose when you're looking down. They're the best. Since Roka stay on your face when you're looking down, they're the best. Since Roka stay on your face, you can actually work out in them and ditch the contacts. Some brands have made prescription eyewear easy to get online. Roka did that and actually made their products better too. No bullshit. Check them out. I could wear anything, but I choose to wear Roka, and you should too. Get 20% off your order with the code Rogan at Roka.com. That's ROKA.com. Tap the banner or click on this episode's page to shop now.
Yeah, right now there's kind of the concepts of virtual reality and augmented reality are sort of on two different development paths, but they're obviously fundamentally interrelated, right? So virtual reality, it's kind of possible to build today, right? Quest 2, it's pretty popular, doing well. Hopefully the new one that comes out, I think it's a pretty big step above it. But you can build that today. There's a lot of new technology that we've researched that goes into that. Also, it's been off of decades of advances in displays that came from TVs and laptops and phones, and some of the display technology gets to piggyback at those decades of innovation and all of these different companies that have done that work before. AR is a pretty different beast because what you really want to get to is not a headset. You want like a looking pair of glasses that is. It won't be like a wireframe because you'll need to fit some electronics in it, right? You'll basically need to have a computer in there, and speakers, and a microphone, and batteries, and a laser projector, and then the display, which we and a lot of other folks think is going to be this technology called waveguides. I think that's different, but a wave actually be see-through, so you'll be able to see the world through it, and then it'll display and be able to place them at different depths in the world.
So is a waveguide a type of technology? Like what is a waveguide?
Yeah, it's basically it can be made of different substances, plastic, glass, different substrates, and they basically get etched or printed in different ways. And there's this big debate right now where a lot of the research is going into what is the right way to basically create these waveguides that have the right properties, because you want for augmented reality to get something that's wide enough field of view. So you can imagine in 5 years we're having this conversation. I'm not here. You're wearing AR glasses. Hologram Mark is here, and it's not only just is it kind of working as a hologram, but there's all these different dimensions beyond just being like a better video chat. If we want to play poker, it's like I could like deal a deck of cards and we could play hologram. Me could deal hologram cards, and you could have your glasses, and physically you there can pick up the hologram cards, and you can have a pokesicle. But things it'll just be like an app, you just have an app there on your wall, and it's like snap your fingers. Some high school students or college students developing apps, and they'll just be wild. Like crazy stuff will just kind of get created. So you'll eventually be able to kind of have that all come through.
These AR glasses, are they in development now? Like when you talk about this kind of technology where you can see things that aren't there and look at maps and watch videos and have it all on a small computer that's in the frame of glasses. Do they exist already?
No, I think we'll start to get stuff that kind of looks like the full version of this over the next, I'd say 3 to 5 years. But I think it'll also start off pretty expensive once it's available, and then it'll take a while to work down to something that's like hundreds of dollars. But there are versions of this that you can start to see if you relax some of the constraints, right? So the kind of ultimate AR experience is that, like, okay, you just have normal looking glasses that can kind of have all of these have holograms, make it so you can interact with people wherever you want. But if you relax the form factor constraint, right? So you have a headset instead of normal looking glasses. That's the other thing that's coming in the new device that we're shipping in October is mixed reality and VR, right? So we got to play around with this a little bit in the sword fighting that we did, but it's basically the thing about mixed reality, physical world around you. In the context of VR, it's not happening through a waveguide. It's basically happening through, you have cameras on the device that capture the world and then translate that in real time into stereo images, so different images in both eyes, so that way you can, because otherwise it's weird, and we kind of see stuff in 3D because we have our two eyes see slightly different things. So you're kind of the computers are putting that together on the fly. and we're sword fighting. It's like the version of me and my sword. It's like that was a digital thing, but otherwise it was in your lobby, right? And you could see your lobby.
Yeah.
So you could start to constrain this form factor, right? So you kind of go from both sides, right? It's like have, even if we can't get the form factor right, and what's we can do with the form factor, and then each year those two basically converge. But on these, and they're the best-selling smart glasses that have ever built, and they're we're continuing to work on new versions of it, but they're basically you can get a pair of Ray-Ban Wayfarers now that have a microphone, and that they have a speaker, and they can take photos and take videos, and you can post them to Instagram. Yeah,
do they do it on voice command?
Yeah.
Oh, so you can say take a photo of this?
Yeah, take a photo, take a video.
And what kind of image quality are you getting off of these things?
It's pretty good. It's I want to make sure I don't get the spec wrong, and I just have all these different numbers in my head because I want to make sure I don't confuse it with the new version.
Is it like similar to like a selfie camera? Like limited in comparison to the back camera? Yeah,
no, it's not quite as good as the back cameras today, but it's it's like, I mean, you look at the quality and it's good, and it fits in like the corner of glasses.
Does that bring about privacy concerns if people could just like start filming things?
Yeah, so I mean, we designed it so it has a light on it. So whenever I mean, that I think is actually a really important part of this.
Could you put a piece of tape over the light?
I mean, I guess in theory, but it's there
it is. Yeah. So that little thing in the corner, is that a highlight or a light? And so those
Ray-Bans, I mean, these are like some of the most popular and successful glasses, and part of the reason why so I figure, okay, they'll really bring to the table some constraints around, like, okay, like how big can this actually be before it starts getting too heavy on your face and uncomfortable to wear for long periods of time. And I've just learned a ton working with those guys. I mean, they're them, but so basically, but it'll still be kind of expensive for a little while, and then you fast forward a few years from there, and then I think it'll really be a mainstream thing. But even VR today is doing quite well. I mean, it's I don't think we released like exact numbers on the sales, but it's in the ballpark of Xbox or PlayStation or those kind of platforms. And
really,
we started off. This was sort of my theory on this: is like, all right, gaming is use case number one for VR, but then pretty quickly, if you look at any platform, right? So computers, phones, before. Games are a huge part of those platforms, but if you look at the main things that people do, it's really about communication. Because I mean, this is what people do, right? It's like we communicate, and that's kind of how we get meaning in our life, is interacting with other people. So it's like, okay, that's going to happen with VR, and sure enough, if you top apps in VR now, the top few are basically social, metaverse, hang out with your friends apps that are not centered around any specific game. So that kind of hypothesis, okay, VR is starting to add different use cases. It's going from games first. Games are still growing and going to be huge, to just kind of social, hang out with friends, they do boxing. But instead of having to buy a bike, you just have your Quest headset, and once you have that, you buy a subscription to these companies, and you can just take lessons and do different things and fitness, and it was pretty wild. I thought that like in the long term, something like that would start to happen sooner than I thought, which was really cool to see.
Well, if you do one of the boxing games, you realize right away, like, this is a really good workout. Like the virtual boxer, when they come towards you and they're in that ring and they start throwing punches at you and you move in your head, you really wind up getting a really high heart rate. You put out a lot of energy. It's really good cardio. I found like my feet would hurt because I was pivoting and moving so much, because I was like constantly like switching stances and trying to get away from punches. And as you get, I think it's fun, and you get out of there and you're really exhausted. It's a really good workout.
Yeah, so I mean, and that's just the kind of nature of the whole platform, and that's one of the things that I love about it. But those aren't even trying to be fitness apps, right? I mean, they're just fun. Yeah, it's just that they just happen to be physical.
Are they capable of having two people? Like we had a fencing match today, you and I did, which is really fun. Are they capable of doing that with boxing now, where two people have because the thing about the fencing match that we had that I thought was really interesting is like you were facing one direction while facing each other. It